What's up y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be playing with the newest launch from Fantasy Cosmetica, and that is the Cradled and Ice eyeshadow palette. I'm excited about this one. I really enjoy Fantasy Cosmetica as a brand. I love their shimmer formula. It has always been just absolutely mind-blowing amazing, and their matte formula is really good as well. I love the theming. I love everything that the brand does. I am a fantasy girl when it comes to a book, a movie, a TV show, any of that. Fantasy is where it's at for me. So I'm excited about this one. We're gonna swatch it out, create two different looks, and see if this is the Fantasy Cosmetica formula that we know and love. All right, before we jump into the looks, let's go ahead and chat about this collection because there were some other items released as well. But let's start with the eyeshadow palette. So this is the Cradled and Ice eyeshadow palette. I love the artwork on here. I think it's absolutely stunning. We have the two little dragons kind of curled up together with their eggs, and then of course the beautiful moon and ocean background. I love that they're kind of stepping away from the different characters and moving on to the creatures. I think that's so fun. And when we open this up, we have a 12 pan color story, which is so different from the brand. We're really used to getting a 9 pan color story, and this is 12, so I'm excited about it. It's very matte heavy. We do have 5 shimmers in here and 7 mattes, so we're gonna play with it. We're gonna see what the quality is like in here, but I'm excited about it. I think it is absolutely stunning. Also included in this collection are the other products that I did not pick up. They did come out with some eye brushes, some face brushes. You can buy them individually, you can buy them in bundles, and then they also came out with some Holochrome Single Shadows and some Multichrome Gel Flakes. Like I said, I didn't pick up any of those, but I will have all of the products linked and listed down in the description box, as well as everything else that's on my face, everything else that we use in this video. So if you're ever curious about anything, always check that description box. I put as much information down there as I possibly can. But let's go ahead and jump into this. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit, get my hair out of my face, and we're going to jump into the first look with this palette. All right, y'all, so my power flickered. I'm not really sure where we were, so I'm gonna kind of back it up, but I do already have the first shade down. So my eyes are primed with my MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly, but we're gonna go ahead and create this first look. So I did start with this one up here, which is called Hatchling. I really wanna play with as many of the colors as I can in this palette. So I think what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go from Hatchling and we're gonna move to this shade right here. This one is called Hideaway. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that shade up with a Game Beauty EO1 brush, and we're gonna put that into my crease and into this outer portion of my eye. Wow, that is way pigmented than I expected it to be, but it's beautiful. I'm just gonna kind of disperse that very lightly with this brush. Okay, note to self, these eyeshadows are really pigmented, but you know what, despite that, it blended out really nicely. I didn't have any issues, it didn't patch, it didn't skip, and it blended into that first shade really nicely. So let's move on. I wanna deepen up this outer corner. We're gonna go in with this shade right here called Layer, and we're gonna deepen up my outer corner. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up with a Game Beauty EO7 brush and very lightly add some depth into this outer corner. I'm going to take that same shade with an angled brush from Game Beauty. This is an E10, and I'm just going to very lightly kind of line my lower lash line, keeping it nice and tight, but putting some depth down there. Okay, so next we're gonna go in with this shade right here. This one is called Adore, and I'm gonna pick that up with a Game Beauty EO3 brush, and we're just gonna fluff that along my lower lash line just to kind of disperse it a little bit, give a little bit of gradient down here, and use up another shadow. All right, let's throw some shimmer on this lid. I already primed it with my NYX glitter primer, and I want to go in with the shade right here. This one is called Snuggle. I want to put that all over my lid, and then we're going to go in with something else after that, but I want to go ahead and start there before I decide on what else to do. So I'm going to pick up the shade Snuggle with my finger. Oh, I love it. It looks so pretty. And I'm just going to pop this all over my lid. Wow, that shade is absolutely stunning, but I'm gonna stop right there because I want to add a couple other shades in on here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's called Embrace, and I want to put that on the outer portion of my lid where that dark shade and that shimmer meet. And then we're gonna take this one right here called Frost, and I'm going to put that in my inner corner. So I'm just going to pick up the shade Embrace on my finger. Oh my gosh, that is like the most beautiful iridescent shifty purple shade ever. And I'm just going to put that right here so we have a nice soft gradient. Stunning. Okay, so for my inner corner, I went ahead and picked up the shade Frost with my Morphe M213 brush. I sprayed it with some MAC Fix Plus, and I'm just gonna pop this right here in my inner corner. Oh my gosh, that shade is absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna bring it over just a little bit and kind of disperse it up right here so we have a nice blend. I love the way that looks. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some liner, mascara, and I will come back and show you the first completed look. All right, y'all, so this is going to complete the first look with this palette, and I love the way that this turned out. It is a purple look, which is right up my alley. I absolutely love it, but to finish off this look, I did go ahead and line my lid with my Glam Light Calligrapher liner. I threw on some NARS Climax mascara, and then for my waterline, I went in with a ColourPop Cream Gel Multichrome liner. I believe this is the shade Actin' Up. It's starting to rub off, but I'm pretty sure that's the one that this is, and I love the way that this came out. Those multi-chromes on the lid are absolutely stunning, but let's go ahead and move on to the second and final look with this palette. I hadn't planned on doing a monochromatic blue look, but this one kind of got away from me, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna start with this shade right here, which is called Frozen. I'm gonna put this all in my crease, and then we're gonna move on to Glacial, and then we're gonna deepen it up with Nest, and then we'll probably grab one of these shades for the lower lash line and then play with some shimmers. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up that shade Frozen with a Morphe M453 brush and just put this into the crease of my lid. Okay, let's go ahead and deepen this up a little bit more with that shade Glacial. I'm going to pick it up with a Singe Beauty EO5 brush, and we're just going to start building up a little bit more depth out here on the outer portion of my lid. Very pretty. All right, so I'm going to take that same brush that I just used. I cleaned it off, and I'm going to go into that dark blue shade called Nest, and we're just going to deepen up this outer corner a little bit more. I'm not going to let it get away from me. I just want to see how the color builds up and how much depth we can get from this palette. I'm going to take that same shade, and I'm just going to put it right here on my lower lash line, but keeping it on the outer half of my lid. Okay, last I'm going to go in with that first shade that I used with the first brush, the shade Frozen, and I'm going to put that on the rest of my lower lash line, just continuing that gradient all the way over. All right, let's pop some shimmer on this lid. I already primed my eye. We have two shimmers left that we haven't used. So these two right here, we have Crystal and Treasure. So I think what I want to do is we're just gonna wing it. I wanna do Crystal all over the lid and then maybe Treasure on my inner corner. I don't know how it's gonna look. I haven't swatched anything yet, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna pick up the shade Crystal on my finger. Oh my gosh, that is a gorgeous, is that a holochrome? I think that is a holochrome, but that is absolutely beautiful. Okay, we're gonna pop this all over the lid. Oh, wow. I don't know if y'all can see on camera the transformation from the blue to the purple with all the sparkles in there. That is a stunning eyeshadow shade. All right, let's do this inner corner. I went ahead and picked up the shade Treasure on a Singe Beauty EO1. I'm gonna give it a little spritz, and we're gonna pop it right here on that inner corner. Oh, that is so pretty. That is an absolutely gorgeous shade. The shimmers in this palette are stunning, absolutely gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on my liner, mascara, and I will come back and show you the second look completed. All right, y'all, so this is going to complete the second look with this palette, and I am obsessed with this look. It came out absolutely stunning. I think I may like it better than I like the first look, which is totally out of character for me because I am a purple eyeshadow girly, but It's just absolutely beautiful. But let me show you what I used to finish off this look. So I did go in with the same liquid liner and mascara that I used on this eye over here, and then in my waterline I went in with a ColourPop cream gel liner. This one is in the shade Prance, and I feel like it just tied everything together absolutely beautifully. But let's go ahead and zoom y'all out and we're gonna chat about this eyeshadow palette. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and chat about this eyeshadow palette. Let's start with the packaging. Fantasy Cosmetica always kills it with the artwork on their palettes, and this one is no exception. I love that they're stepping into more of like the world building and creature side of the fantasy realm. I think that's a really fun move on their part, and I also love that we have a 12 pan eyeshadow palette. We're so used to getting 9 shades in all of their palettes, and this one kind of goes with that shift of theming as well. This is also very matte heavy. We have 7 mattes, 5 shimmers, and I love that as well. The matte formula in this palette is so good. They are creamy, they are buildable, they are very pigmented, which you saw when I put the shade right here, Hideaway, on my lid, but it blended out beautifully. I didn't have any issues with patching or skipping or grabbing or doing anything weird. It just kind of melted into the skin and blended in with all the other shades that I put on. I love the color story in here. I love that we have a cool tone color story. It flows together really nicely. It's beautiful, but the star of the show in this palette is always the shimmers. Fantasy Cosmetica has always had such a beautiful shimmer formula. It has really been what has made them stand out from other brands since the beginning, and everything else has just gotten better with time. But the shimmers in here, they are smooth. They are absolutely beautiful on the lid. They're shifty, they're reflective, they're sparkly. I didn't get any fallout with them. Nothing feels gritty or heavy on my lid. They're not emphasizing texture, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to crease. I've never had any issues with creasing with any of their eyeshadows. So overall, I love this eyeshadow palette. I love it more than I thought I was going to. The blues in here are absolutely stunning. I like the blues in this palette better than I like the one in the Wizard palette, and those were really good blues, but these just blew me out of the water. I love them. I love that we've got more purples from the from the brand as well, and this may be one of my absolute favorite palettes from the brand. I love Bard, I love Rogue, and I love the Fighter palette, but this one, I think this one may have very quickly skipped to the top. Let me know if you want me to do a Fantasy Cosmetica eyeshadow palette ranking video. I do have all of their palettes, and that might be something fun to do, but you know, if you're interested in this color story, you love the brand, and you're curious about picking it up, I don't think you would be disappointed at all. I think this is a really good quality and formula from the brand. It doesn't disappoint. I'm really happy with it, and I love this palette. I cannot wait to play with it some more, but that is going to be it for this video. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear all of your thoughts down in that comment section. Which look was your favorite? Did you pick up this palette? Do you love Fantasy Cosmetica as much as I do? Let's have that conversation down below. Light up that comment section, and as usual, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It really does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every week, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.